In today's video, we're going to crack open the real estate ETF, XLRE, and we're going to understand how does the sector's volatility lead the volatility of many of its top holdings. XLRE is just an example from today. We had a lot of other stocks in a similar space, from home builders to materials, also have similar opportunities. So this concept can be applied across the board. Let's start by asking the first question, which is, why do we care about XLRE? It is, after all, the least heavily weighted sector of the S&P 500. Well, the answer is simple. Today, an XLRE, out of the top 20 holdings, 15 of them appeared on our Volatility Box live scanner for breaching their daily Volatility Box models. So 15 out of 20 of the top holdings gave us volatility setups today. That's nearly 75% of the top holdings. So that's why I think it's worthy of calling out and diving a little bit further into. So let me first show you the data, and we'll splice and dice it a few different ways. Then we'll look at charts, and then we'll try and find some interesting insights. Now, here's the top 20 holdings of XLRE, and I think it's easier to start by asking the question, well, which ones did not appear on the live scanner? So there were 5 again that did not appear on the scanner. Let me highlight them for you. Starting from the top, we had Equinix and then Welltower. Those were the first 2. Then we had CoStar Group, SBA Communications, and Avalon Bay Communities. These were the 5 out of the top 20 which did not appear on our live scanner today. The remaining 15 did. So that gives you an idea of just how much volatility we had inside of XLRE. So let's take the top 10 here instead of the top 20, and let's dive into these top 10 in a little bit more detail, specifically the places where we did have volatility setups. So these are the charts we're going to look at, 1, 2, and then 5 through 9. Now, if we start by first taking a look at the sector, so XLRE, here's what the charts of XLRE looked like. Now, XLRE first breached its aggressive volatility box models at 7:28 a.m. Pacific. That's this green candle right here, this first green candle, and that's when price action first breached its aggressive models. It appears on our scanner. Now, shortly after that, we breached the conservative volatility box models, which are the second set of clouds. So the 2 times I want you to pay attention to here, 7:28, so call it 7:30, and towards the tail end of that hour, 7:54. So that's when XLRE, the sector, is starting to show that, hey, we're reaching places where there's volatility that gives us an edge. We should be looking for a short side setup here, looking for a reversal either from here or from here. So that's XLRE. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into some of the top holdings. We'll start with number 1, Prologis, PLD. Now inside of PLD, we had the aggressive volatility box breached, and that's in this green candle right here. Now the time that PLD breached its aggressive models was 8:10 a.m. Pacific. So this is now after the sector has already breached its conservative models. That's when the number 1 top holding is just starting to breach its aggressive volatility box models. So that gives you an edge. It tells you how the top holding is catching up to the sector's volatility. Number 2, Crown Castle, CCI. Here's a chart of Crown Castle. In Crown Castle, we breached both the aggressive and the conservative models. But the thing to call out, notice the time in Crown Castle. The aggressive breach is before even the sector has breached its aggressive models. So Crown Castle was very much leading the way in terms of buying activity today inside of XLRE. The conservative volatility box, 7:38 a.m. Pacific. And don't worry about remembering these times. I'll show you a visual representation of that at the end, which will help everything click. So CCI, the thing to remember about this one, it had volatility earlier than the sector, where it breached its aggressive models well before even the sector did. Now the next stock on our list, Public Storage, PSA. If we take a look at the charts, PSA breached its aggressive volatility box models at 7:56. This is right around the same time that the sector XLRE was breaching its conservative volatility box models. So we can see how at that time PSA is just catching up and it's breaching its aggressive models. So a little bit better of an edge here in PSA along with XLRE happening at the same time. Now the next one, Digital Realty. Digital Realty, take a look at the time, 8:10 a.m. Pacific. That's after XLRE, that's after PSA. So now we're starting to see where is volatility now catching up. Where do we now have opportunities when the sector is already on its conservative volatility box models? 8:10 a.m., the green candle, when price action breaches the aggressive volatility box models. The next one, Simon Property Group, same idea here, 8:10 a.m. Pacific, after the sector has already breached its conservative models. And you'll notice this 8:10 a.m. Pacific mark was a pretty key mark inside of many of the top holdings. Here's our next and last example, Realty Income, ticker symbol O. Take a look at when it first breaches its aggressive volatility box model, 740, and then at 8:10 a.m. breaches its conservative models. And here we have a very familiar setup that we have rules for, the momentum reversal setup. We had our Keltner channel wedges, we had the edge signal, we had the momentum cross, we even had the 1-2 punch combo reappear right here before we had the final flush down lower. Now, if we take a look at the chronology here in a little bit more of a visual manner, I have a chart to the right along with the times to the left. Now, the way to read this chart, on the y-axis we have the symbols, on the x-axis we have the time. The red X's are the conservative models, and the green X's are the aggressive models being breached. So if we read this chart from left to right to get an idea of what happened first, we can see first we have CCI breaching its aggressive models. Then we have the sector breaching its aggressive models. CCI then moves on to its conservative models, after which we have Realty Income joining the party on its aggressive models. Now the sector catches up, breaching its conservative volatility box models, and we have more stocks joining the party. Next up, we had Public Storage, and after that, Realty Income breaching its conservative models at 8:10, along with the three other stocks which also breached at that 8:10 mark, with PLD, SPG, and DLR all breaching their aggressive models at the same time. All of these actually at the 8:10 mark were some of the nicest breaches and reversals that we had. If we revisit the charts of DLR, SPG, and PLD, now that we've seen this chronology, let me come back to those charts. Here's SPG. You can see just how beautiful of a reversal this is after that 8:10 mark. If we take a look at DLR, same sort of idea here. You can see the extent to which we actually see the flush down lower. And then finally, we had PLD, where you should see the same idea, the aggressive models being breached very quickly, sellers coming in, defending these levels, given that even the sector as a whole is at that time well outside of its conservative volatility box models. Now, before we conclude this video, let me show you an example of stocks in which we had the most strength. This is where our clouds got inverted inside of the same sector, XLRE. The first example here is Extra Space Storage, ticker symbol EXR, and you can see how the volatility box clouds here have inverted. That right off the bat, very clear sign of just how much strength we saw inside of EXR. The price is well outside of the levels here. You should notice these charts look much different than the charts we've been talking about. Another example to help drive this home, CBRE Group. Same idea here, inverted clouds, price well outside of the levels. We don't really have any sellers in sight. If you want it to be aggressive, you still have our momentum reversal setup. But here, after comparing some of the other opportunities we talked about at that 8:10 mark, you should see that, hey, there's a lot better volatility opportunities available, a lot better volatility trades where we actually have an edge. So now if we were to talk about what were the best setups today and revisit the same chronology that we talked about, the best setups today very clearly were the ones that triggered after the sector had breached its conservative models. For us today, that was Realty Group, PLD, SPG, and DLR, and we revisited those charts again towards the tail end of this video. All right, I hope you found this video useful for those of you that enjoy day trading sectors and their top holdings. A lot of this has been happening on our live scanner, and I imagine these opportunities to continue. Take care, everyone. Good luck trading, and I'll see you in our next update.